Everton with Tim Howard in goal. Tony Hibbert returns at right back from suspension. Phil Jagielka reverts to the centre of the defence again. But Joseph Yobo stays in the side to protect Jolyon Lescott from a possible fifth yellow card and a ban from next weekend's FA Cup quarter-final. That risk, however, is taken with Phil Neville because Jack Rodwell failed a morning fitness test. Fellaini and Pienaar do return, as does Tim Cahill back from his ban. Leon Osman could be used later after his recent injury problems if Everton are not finding alternatives to the missing maestro, Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, he had a little tinker with it up at Newcastle last week, his formation. This is what we're more used to seeing from a David Moyes side with that four-man midfield. Yes, the loss of Arteta is a massive one, but he can recall, you've mentioned him, Fellaini, Pienaar and Cahill. That's a big bonus for Everton today at home. I think particularly Tim Cahill. I mean, his contribution has been fantastic. We'll probably play just off the front rather than up alongside Joe. And I just think from that middle of midfield, Fellaini will get forward. I think if we can, at all times, Pienaar from that left, no problem. And Phil Neville will just be asked to, listen, use your head, Phil. Just you sit in there and protect your back four.
The Albion goalkeeper, Scott Carson, had to miss much of yesterday's training because of a nasty blow on the fingers, but he does start the game. Ryan Donk replaces Leon Barnett in the back line. Albion still missing their most effective centre-back, Jonas Olsen. And Chris Brunt comes in on the left of midfield for Felipe Teixeira, who broke a toe at Fulham. The transfer window loanies Jay Simpson and Marc-Antoine Fortuné have sharpened the Albion attack. Teixeira is on the bench, as is Jonathan Greening, who has missed 5 games with a knee injury.
Well, it goes without saying, if you've only scored 6 away goals in the Premier League this year, then you've got to defend well. And I just don't think it's the back four. I watched them against Fulham last week, Martin, and I thought the protection the back four got, particularly from these two in the middle, Corin and Valera, was pretty much non-existent. Now these two have got to at times stop the play into the back four, almost the supply line, if you like, to give the team a chance, because ahead of that they have got some decent players. Morrison from the right is a decent player. I think Brunt in the side is a plus for me. Naturally left-footed, good from that left-hand side, and as you say, he feels that he may, and Simpson and Fortuny have found a couple that might just get him the goals they need. We shall see.
Everton looking for a Premier League double over a West Bromwich Albion side, which is still trying to win matches at the top level without adopting a war zone mentality. But it is a test of that philosophy now, with 12 games to go. As Andy says, just 6 away goals, just 5 away points, just 1 away win. But maybe they can take advantage of some of Everton's selection problems today. Everton a great example of making the most of their resources in the Premier League against opponents who are striving to stay in the Premier League. At Goodison Park, it's the Toffees against the Baggies. Bromwich Albion in their change strip today. They produced some pockets of strong resistance since promotion. But that loss at home to Newcastle earlier this month really hit them hard. They were punished for a couple of defensive failings at Fulham in front of our cameras last Sunday, prior to Everton going up to St James's Park in what turned out to be a battlefield in the first half for them, Andy, with the loss of Arteta and Ichibi, and as it's turned out now, Rodwell,
yeah, I remember the tackle of Rodwell. Shook it off, it was early on in the game.
Morrison looking for Jay Simpson. Jagielka lets it go.
I'm just wondering why Phil Neville turned him round. I mean, I've always thought Everton like to play second half into the Gladys Street, which is the way they're playing now, but Phil Neville obviously won the toss, turned him round, and West Brom kicked off. So, no sun or anything to worry about, either goalkeeper.
Cahill, who really more and more these days is an out-and-out forward and an attacking midfield player. His touch, trying to link up with Gosling, who has been playing on the left but is needed on the right today. On the opposite flank. Corin. a lush surface here, suitable for West Brom's passing. And they got to a good crossing position as well, and the opportunity to get the ball in was rather wasted.
Oh, that's a lovely opportunity. You've got Fortune here, just pulls on the back of Jagielka. He's in a great position for that ball if it's a decent one. Really poor cross in the end. Was it worthy of the build-up, which is very slick.
Valero. He gets a touch there. Here comes Paul Robinson, whose wife is still in the maternity unit. And Paul's on call to dash back if the birth is imminent later today. Very keen to continue playing though. Fellaini, with 11 yellow cards in 20 Premier League appearances, commits an early foul. Steve Bennett's the referee.
That's a bit of skill from James Morrison there.
West Bromwich Albion, early chance to put some pressure on the back line that David Moyes has, I suppose, taken a little chance with Andy leaving out Jolien Lescott.
Yeah, he has. You know, but I think Joseph Yobo just back in the side. I think he's confident in his experience, his ability, and that's been a good option. And as he said beforehand to Jeff, if he had that kind of option with Phil Neville, he'd have left him out as well.
Lescott is on the bench and probably a bit disappointed. He'll understand the reasons, but of course he's a former Wolves player, and Wolves against West Brom, as you will know from your own time as a West Brom player, and indeed as a Wolves player.
So.
We haven't even mentioned the former Everton player. In goes Yobo.
Well, already, even this early, you see the good things about West Brom, and that's a comfortable way they get on the ball and they move it. That's never been in question this season, I don't think, from anybody.
Morrison keeping going. Corrin wanted it, but and Blunt's attempted cross flies off Hibbert and Albion have a corner.
Good start from the away side. Free kick at a corner from this side within the first 5 minutes. Allows it to get some pressure on.
Morrison working the short one to Simpson. And the back heel didn't quite come off. Hibbert was alive to it. And he's just caught as he played it.
Nearly worked.
Well, Tony Mowbray, has been said several times today, hasn't compromised on his principles. The team that won the championship by playing a passing game has tried to play a passing game in the Premier League, and they want to try and kick their way out of trouble. There's Pienaar, backed up by Baines. Here comes Carson, and Cahill. Goal there.
Goalkeeper's missed that, you know. He's fallen awkwardly, but Cahill gets his head to this. And Scott Carson comes and he's almost going fishing here. He's casting away here at nothing. I don't think the goalkeeper gets anything on this. It's high and it tempts him to come out for it. And as you can see there, it's the head of Tim Cahill that makes contact with this.
Well, that's the time to tell you, Andy, that Everton have scored, with Cahill prominent, of course, the most headed goals in the Premier League this season. And guess who conceded the most headed goals?
The team they're playing against.
Yep. And Tony Mowbray's changed his central defenders again. And bringing back Ryan Donk back in alongside Mate. Mate's a more proven Premier League player, of course, in his time with Bolton. Fellaini for Joe, scored to 2 in his only previous game at Goodison Park for Everton. And Donk slipped, but still made enough contact, but it was awkward.
Dealt with it, but Matey was, we talked about better defending, he was poor there. He had Cahill, he was engaged with him, and he just backed away from him. Allowed the little Australian to get the ball comfortably and play a cross in.
Dutchman at the back is Zyvalon, Johnny Zyvalon, the right back for West Bromwich Albion. They are a team of all nationalities these days. Just spending some time at their training ground yesterday, and they're pointing out that they haven't really produced a locally born player for a long, long time. Obviously, in their circumstances, it would help enormously if they could get a production line going again. Cahill from Madrid. Mete. Fellaini, arms by side. Joe. Can get hold of it. Just wonder whether that knock Carson got on his hand yesterday had played a part in him being less than assertive on that cross that came in, and he was beaten by Cahill.
Might have been.
Right hand.
Yeah.
Neville. Hibbert. Were beaten 2-1 by Everton at the Hawthorns in August, and Everton were quite pessimistic about their chances for the season then. They were struggling to get going at home. But as David Moyes pointed out in his interview with Jeff Shreves, he is in the results business, and he's good at getting results whatever the circumstances. Advantage played by Steve Bennett as Pienaar was flattened. Running now, the South African.
Had a chance there. Newton Baines just to feed him down the line.
There goes Fortune. Robertson. Valero, Simpson. Coming in off the left-hand side. Good play by West Bromwich Albion. Shot by Fortune was a pretty tepid run at the end of some very slick passing.
Lovely. A little bit of one-touch football going on here. Really carved Everton wide open. The best angle. He certainly didn't send it wide enough with enough bend to trouble Tim Howard.
West Brom again with Morrison setting himself as he threw the shot. He thought several times about it, and rather delayed just too long.
This is what Joe Law was talking about in the studio. He's watched West Brom as I have plenty this season, and they play football like that, but at both ends of the pitch they're found wanting.
Cahill trying to force his way around Donk. Bit of contact. Well, let's see how West Brom defend in the air here. If indeed it is clipped in, as the percentages tell you it probably should be.
Well, left two up top, trying to just restrict Everton and the big ones they put in there.
Don't quite reach Fellaini. Gosling trying to head it back. Well watched by Morrison. Neville. Gielka. It's rather vastly overhit. Last time West Brom won a league game here, Ron Atkinson was their manager 30 years ago. Brian Robson was one of the scorers. Here's Pienaar. movement from the others from his head on. Hibbert. Joe challenging Mate. Touch from Robinson. Control ball back to him from Corrin.
Well, they're almost playing with Valero. You saw on the ball there. Highs forward. It's almost like a little diamond in midfield. Tuck in Brunt and Morrison at times, and Corrin's just been the deep of the midfield players. And Valero's been playing ahead of him.
And maybe Corrin has some instructions about providing some better protection.
Well, I think when Cahill's, they pretty much knew Cahill would be on the side, and I guess I would be saying if he drops off, Tony Mowbray, keep an eye on him. As I say, I thought last week against Fulham the protection back forward that was non-existent. It added to the defeat, no doubt about that.
Everton 6th. They'll find out tomorrow whether 6th place will guarantee a spot in next season's revamped UEFA Cup, the Europa League. It will be the case if Manchester United win the Carling Cup. Corrin's head collected by Joe. He's taking it back into trouble in the shape of Brunt. And here's Fortune. That's away from Jagielka. They can hit this one, and good handling by Howard.
That was sloppy here from Joe at the top end of the pitch, and it shows you how quickly teams can break, even if you lose it where you're centre forward. It's only one pass and Fortune's taking the shot at the edge of the box at the other end. No real trouble for Tim Howard dealing with it.
Referee Bennett has penalised the rather frustrated Mate. Challenge on Joe.
Well, this is an area they'll miss Arteta. Everton, certainly within his range, although it's probably right on the limit. So Jagielka having a little interest in this, placing it with a little bit of purpose.
Almost Cristiano Ronaldo purpose.
Making Baines with the left foot if they want the option.
Jagielka, foot through the ball, but into the bottom of the wall. Not disguising the intentions, and not very happy with his effort. Cahill. He's been penalised for the nature of his jump. This season and last, they've been averaging around 2 points per game when he plays and just over 1 per game when he doesn't.
Oh, he's an influence, there's absolutely no doubt about that.
Pienaar, it wasn't really his, I don't think, but he went into Donkey's left donk on the ground, and
well, he was a little bit slow and sloppy dealing with this Ryan Dog. Thought he could have got to the ball a lot quicker than he did. I don't know whether he saw Pienaar, but he should have done. He's looking right at him, but he just took an age to deal with it. Absolutely no doubt in Europe that would have been given as a free kick. Foot up like that. This league's a little different.
15 minutes where Everton have looked for Cahill's influence, and Joe maybe playing it a little bit more directly from the back. West Bromwich Albion have slicked it through midfield and created a couple of shooting openings in a very eye-catching fashion, as has been their way this season. Openings are one thing, goals are another. Doc. Cyberlock. Neville. There's one with an assured piece of play. Fellaini. In for Hibbert. Doesn't always venture forward.
Well, he had a chance. Got at it a little bit quicker.
And again by Phil Neville. Fellaini. Intercepting, but it's dropped for Hibbert. Fellaini. Gosling, good foot in by Dunk this time. Acted much quicker within a moment to go to apparent danger. Morris. He's been one of West Bromwich Albions' more consistent performers in the Premier League, James Morrison. Fortune, Robinson. It's on for the cross now. Herbert was aware of that and stopped the supply.
We have plenty in there. 4 in the penalty area.
Fortuna. Now Brunt. Good take by Valero. And off Jagielka. He's a pure footballer, the type that Tony Mowbray really wants to encourage.
There's nothing wrong with that when you have the ball. There's a part of football, big parts of it, when you don't. And that's been West Brom's failing.
Cahill to use his aerial ability if required, right to front of the goalkeeper there. And there it is, clearing header from Cahill. Back from Corran! Playing his 100th game for West Brom today and close to marking it with a goal.
I think this is wider than it looks. Tim Howard does go for it. I think it's a couple of yards wide.
He has 1 goal this season. He thought he had 2, but West Bromwich Albion took that, you remember, Andy, that deflection off Fortuna recently, and it's their decision. They've given it to the striker on loan from Nancy rather than the midfield player.
All the attempts so far coming from the away side.
Looking for some movement. Just stooping in. Good pressure by Valero. He won the ball there from Fellaini, and then having done the stuff without the ball to get the ball, his passing let him down. Fellaini. Here's Hibbert. Now Gosling.
Looks like I've got a problem with Tony Hibbert down below us. Looks like Russell Osman, Leo Osman getting ready to come on. That would be Phil Neville, I'm guessing, going to right back from that change, and Osman into midfield.
Corran. Past 2. To the runner from right back. Someone was concerned rightly that to leave Pinar.
Referee just not in a word with Fellaini. Involved in 1 or 2 incidents already. You just have to be careful.
He's committed several infringements already. And now there's Baines and Cyberlon needing attention.
Both of them just watching this. It's a genuine and honest attempt for both to win the ball. Clash of heads, accidental. This might be the one here. Just as a little tug at the shirt, but allows play to go on, the referee. And then just had a quick word with him. He's probably got one more chance, you know. And just find himself with his, 12th yellow card of the season.
It is a thigh strain for Tony Hibbert, who missed the game last week through suspension. But David Moyes has had to make plenty of changes from that side from Newcastle. Some for positive reasons, we must stress. Hibbert being one of them, and Cahill obviously another one. Talking to Steve round about what they might do if they're going to make the change. Osman, the manager himself, told me about an hour before kick-off that Osman, 20 minutes or so, was what he was really thinking of. He hasn't done much training. And of course, there's the Lescott option. So we're going back on they decided and they put the team sheet in.
Well, they could quite easily just bring Lescott on, put Jagielka to right back, but obviously he is still concerned about picking up the bookie.
Dunk only as far as Baines. Pinar. Baines with the cross. Cahill will run to fight for in the air, and he's lashed into the net. The whistle is gone.
It's not like him, he's up a little early, and that's why it's a free kick, I think. And we'll see this again, you'll just find he goes up a little too early. And he's on the shoulder, he's actually coming down, you can see that, as the ball reaches him. Doesn't often mistime his jump, but he did there. I think the decision's the right one.
Yobo. It's very controlled, volleyed clearance to Joe. Baines going ahead of Pinar. Fellaini. Hairdo is more and more popular with the Everton fans. Not so popular, Andy, we gather, with David Moyes.
No, I think David's been trying to encourage him. Thinks it affects the ability to head the ball. We've been trying to encourage him to get it cut, but the more he's encouraged him, he's felt the more Fellaini has dug on his heels and said no.
Maybe that's a Moroccan background.
Yeah.
Belgian international. Comes well there and cleared by Valero. Gosling. Gosling in full pursuit. Mate trying to shepherd it out. Gosling not giving up easily. Applauded for his efforts. A good clearance by Mate to Fortuné. Hibbert Stacker. Cahill's. Oh, it's a hefty touch by Tim Howard. As you know, a bit surprised that goalkeepers work so hard on their footwork, but that was like when they first brought the law in.
That was that one word we used, panic. My fault, we know that.
Appreciation for number 2, Tony Hibbert.
It's a short return to the side for Hibbert.
Leon Osman.
Well, this might solve two problems for David Moyes, Andy. Obviously the injury problem with Hibbert, but maybe it'll bring a bit more creativity to midfield with Leon Osman.
He has that, there's absolutely no doubt about that.
Also got a very good record against West Bromwich Albion. 3 goals in 5 appearances against them in the Premier League. Scored in the 2-1 win at the Hawthorns in August.
He's a clever footballer, Osman, I always think.
It's just a slight risk because of the lack of training that he's had in recent weeks.
Yeah, I mean, David Moyes will be back and he gets through on adrenaline as much as anything.
Valero. Simpson. Good challenge by Yobo. Joe. Cahill in pursuit. So is Pinar. Cahill to Pinar. Back behind Tim Cahill. Retrieved by Morrison.
There's a chance of Stephen Pinar, but not enough quality on his delivery.
Valero. shaped up well. Brunt.
I'm saying, you look how narrow Brunt is, and the ball that he had straight ahead of him was to Morrison. The two allegedly wide players that they're playing in here. There they have. Got themselves that little diamond. Started out at the start of this game. Valero at the top of it. Corrin at the bottom. And Brunt and Morrison working right and left sides.
He's got a glimpse of team member's assistant Peter Grant complaining about the actual shape that they had in that attack, which led to Brunt trying to go wide and nothing on. Got through to Jay Simpson. Here's Baines. Here at the sprint again. Joe. Lucky Osman, but he got it to Baines, coming together. And it seems a bit more than that by Steve Bennett. By Zyvalon, free kick to Everton.
Yeah, just blocked him off. But this time Joseph Yobo has come forward. They just got themselves in a little early. I think they're the same again, Everton. They're actually in positions, you can see them there. No one's going to get a run at this. It's a ball that has to drop almost on your head, because they're so close to the goal.
It's really the one that they tried at Anfield, wasn't it? Oh, and it's come to Cahill anyway. The original free kick was aimed at Cahill in that near post area.
You know, this is one of those occasions when, because you're in the 6-yard box, you don't think you've got a lot of time, but Tim Cahill did. Far more time than he realised.
Valero putting it across to Robinson. Simpson in the middle, Fortune's in the middle. He's going for it here. Football on Sunday from noon. Sheffield United against Birmingham. Sky Sports 1 and HD1. Followed by the showpiece occasion from Wembley, Manchester United against Spurs Carling Cup final. Sky Sports 1 and HD1 from 2:30. Baines, Yobo. Cahill carried it down for Pinar. First one Everton defeat, and that was at Old Trafford, as we pointed out last Sunday, and to a penalty. In the last 10 league games now, 14 when you take into account their FA Cup run.
Well, they've got back into that today, and they've been a really difficult team to beat, Everton, again. I think that was something they didn't have at the beginning of the season, particularly here, lost too many goals. It was very un-Everton and un-David Moyes-like. They're back in the groove with regards to being tough to play against.
Carries ball to Morrison for Fortune. Now it came out well.
Oh, it's good goalkeeping. But I'm thinking he's going to hit this. I thought for all the world, as he gets in this position and they back away and they back away, and no one really came to him. And I just thought he's going to get out his feet and hit it, but he slid it for Fortune. It's a really good save from Tim Howard. Quick off his line, closes the gap. It's the away team that continue to threaten.
Brunt to take the corner. There's Cahill, beaten to it by Fortune, and then to the side netting, the follow-up from Morrison.
Well, the West Brom fans are off to your right as we look at this, and they all thought when Morrison hits this, eventually, and it hits the net, they think it's gone in. That's that position he took up. Talked about them tucking in from the wide areas, and when he slid Fortune through, he was in that position. No one had picked him up.
He's a thoughtful footballer, James Morrison. He came through the Middlesbrough Academy.
I mean, this is I watched them at Aston Villa, West Brom, and they played the first half like this. A lot of good football, a lot of good possession, and yet they went in, I think 2-0 down at that game. It was just extraordinary. There were lots of days like this.
Neville. To Gosling. Blocked by Mate. Obviously took a bit of a risk. Mate scuffed the clearance, picked up by Fellaini. Chance for Philip Neville to cross here. Not one of his best. Sacked away by Chris Brunt. Saha stealing in a break. Fortune the touchline. Everton recognise the threat. Got numbers around Saha, and Dunk's got to go into Saha's area to try and hold up Joe here.
A lovely run from Joe there, Martin. He saw the gap. He knew that Saha was up high up the pitch. Just pulled in at the back of Dunk.
Chance again for Everton to pinpoint this apparent weakness. Headed goals conceded at West Bromwich Albion. Play to their own strengths.
The amount of players they put right in that 6-yard box, almost forcing them into a standing jump. Nearly every attacker, in fact, they'll all be in there in about 20 seconds.
Of course, Cahill has got a very good standing jump. Whether that's part of the thinking. He's very good at finding room, even when it's as congested as that, and did do just that. The ball didn't come for him, though. Swept away by Valera.
Should be offside.
It is.
Well, he argues, Tim. I could see he was well offside there as the ball was played. Never got back onside. West Brom pushing up the pitch.
Everton will have to wait to the summer to hear the verdict after a 36-day public inquiry on their proposed move away from here at Goodison Park to a potential new site in Kirby.
That's better. What Corin did there, that sort of thing, Martin, didn't happen, I don't think, once last week against Fulham. There was a break on, the midfield player, he certainly played as an anchor, no doubt about that in that midfield. It's allowed the other three, Brunt, Morrison and Valero, to go and get involved high up the pitch. He's just been there if we need him.
Still getting a pass or two as well. And Simpson schooled on better than that. His parent club, Arsenal. It's been attractive to watch some of West Bromwich Albion's football. There's no surprise in that, of course. With 10 minutes to go to half-time, they haven't taken the openings that they've manufactured. Mowbray, like David Moyes, spent a spell at Celtic as a central defender. So Baines to take it. Jostling in one Fellaini. There it is. Tim Cahill. According to type for Cahill.
Well, they can point and look at each other, but this is absolutely shocking, Martin. And I mean that. There's three, I think, Everton players could have headed this in. It's too high for Cahill, it's too good in the back. Cahill's borderline, but look at the three blue shirts, Yobo and Fellaini as well. It is borderline, but people have to track people in. You cannot allow them just to drift in. I have no idea what West Brom players are thinking about.
But it's no surprise, Andy,
no,
because they've been leaking goals like that this season. Cahill's been scoring goals like that for a long time. And it's Everton 1, West Bromwich Albion 0. And again, neat football, good philosophy of playing the game has been unhinged by some dreadful defending.
But man, it's a set play, isn't it? You mark him, you mark him. I can't believe that Tony Mowbray and Peter Grant haven't told every player on this pitch that's wearing that West Brom shirt who they're marking at set plays. And yet three of them getting in front of Scott Carson with not a West Brom shirt near them.
persistent flagging. And he will be livid. He is livid. It's about accountability, really. I suppose the defenders will be saying, well, we thought there was an offside, and
No, you cannot play offside from that. You can't. I'm sorry. Unless you're a set part where you, on a signal, you come out en masse, then you cannot play offside from a free kick like that. You get your man, you mark him, and you make sure he doesn't win it. Have a look at it again from the 18-yard line. See Cahill's at the top of it, and I think it's Mété who drops back in. So that means that who's at the back post? Not sure who's at the back post from Everton, but if you look at Joe, but if you look at Yobo, Fellaini and Cahill, either of those three players, Martin, could have headed that in. And that's what you talk about. What can he do? There he goes, 4. Well, it was only 3, Scott, but you were close.
here's Baines. Everton have been struggling to make chances from open players, so he might have suspected, as they did when they had the 87 minutes at Newcastle without Arteta. But they have got penalty area power, set plays, and what is bad for West Brom is very healthy for David Moyes and Steve Round.
You talk as if you didn't want everybody watching about headed goals. Everton the best, West Brom the worst. Him a threat. I mean, how can you not mark Tim Cahill? I ask you.
So it's a 45th goal for Everton.
But you're right, he is not a midfield player anymore, Tim Cahill.
What he is a winner, isn't he?
He's been fantastic. Everyone looked at him. I remember at the time he was at Millwall.
Got to an FA Cup final, of course, with Millwall.
Many Premier League sides had a look, had a good think. David Moyes took the chance.
Pinar, Fellaini for Pinar again. Just reaching for it.
Yeah, he was. But that's the best piece of football. And it's amazing what a goal can do to you. Another little give and go here.
The importance again of that Tim Howard save at the feet of Marc-Antoine Fortuné at 0-0. Go to half-time, and suddenly Everton are anxious to use them to the full. I mean, they've got West Bromwich Albion where they want them now.
Well, big worry for Tony Mowbray's side. 17 times prior to today they conceded the opening goal in a Premier League game. 15 times they've gone on to lose a game. Only 2 draws have managed to salvage from that. That's the problem.
They have never won a Premier League game when they have gone in at half-time trailing. So,
well, stats and facts are against them, but the good thing about this game is they can be changed.
Pinar. Osmer taken on by Philip Neville here. Hasn't yet been drawn into any sort of challenge that might threaten his participation in the FA Cup quarter-final here a week tomorrow against Middlesbrough. It is actually the last day when a 5th yellow card does count to a ban in February.
Just forced a little too wide there for Neville.
550th club game of his distinguished career. Say, came here today not sure whether he would start the match because Jack Rodwell about 10:15 had a fitness test. It only lasted barely a couple of minutes. Mick Rathbone, the physio, particularly very conscious that he's dealing with a 17-year-old, said no.
Yeah, well, sometimes you need that. There's no doubt as a 17-year-old he would have played. Certainly would have wanted to play.
A little bit late by Cahill. Simpson. Turning Jagielka. Fortuna couldn't quite get there.
Well, they've turned and crossed that.
Part of his belief is to play with two up, away from home. Feels that if you play one with one behind, the one who is the main striker very rarely scores. Cahill, Donk, able to cut him off. Fellaini. Baines. Really what we've seen, Andy, in this first half is a cameo of so much of West Bromwich Albion this season.
Well, I just mentioned that in the 5-10 minutes ago. I watched the Villa game. They played really well first half, lots of possession, and yet Villa went in 2-0 up.
Donk. Zyvalon. Maybe 2 added minutes. Joe. And some wonder whether the goalkeeper might be involved, but that was the right decision. Neville. Osman. Slide it down the channel for Cahill. Even at this stage, half-time beckoning, doesn't want to give up easily on the ball he thought he might retrieve. Talking to some Everton fans arriving at the ground, Andy, they were sort of looking at this as a formality today. So there is not such a thing in the Premier League. No, it's not.
I think that's right. I think that was one of the dangers for Everton, was for the players to be getting to that mental state where, well, they're only bottom of the league and we should be able to see this game through comfortably. If they thought that, then West Brom's start, the way they moved the ball about.
And Steve Bennett was beautifully close to see whether Howard had that in his hands as the ball and goalkeeper went out of the area, shaking his head.
He caught it, knew he was going out, and then quickly dropped it. Steve Bennett right in line with the 18-yard line, had a perfect view of it.
And they'll take it away with a moment of poor technique just then. Pienaar. Robert Corral. And Osman unable to do too much, couldn't even get out of the way.
Well, he might have used a decent ball in the end, but he could have used Phil Neville. Stephen Pienaar, just like the switch, Pienaar and Gosling for now. Gosling started over there against Newcastle, I'm pretty sure. That's the one, lets it go.
So you can see the referee looking right down the line of that. Excellent positioning. Fortuna able to get it back. Here's Zyvalon looking for a counter-attack right at the end of this first half, and he's still going, the Dutchman. Hefty cross. Out of the Dutch under-21 side, as was Donk, that won the UEFA competition in that age group in 2007. Winning the game here at Everton. It's the same old story for West Bromwich Albion. Whoever Tony Mowbray puts in the middle of his defence, seems to be no protection for Scott Carson when the ball is in the air, and when Tim Cahill is around, that spells real danger, as Cahill illustrated late in the first half when Everton had struggled to get going. Tim Howard made a very good save at the feet of Fortune. West Brom have played some neat and tidy football, but they failed to score, and they're trailing 1-0 at Goodison Park at the break. Start the second half, but they made one change during the first half, which put Phil Neville back to right back from midfield when Hibbert went off. Osman came on. No alterations from Tony Mowbray so far.
Scott Carson clearing out. It'd be interesting to get their manager's take on his part in the goal. Came all the way, didn't get there, left an open net. I'm sure, as he pointed out, he'd be pointing out his manager, 4 players. No one near them. I needed a bit of help.
Robinson needed a bit of help and got it from Brunt. Morrison. Might have as much time as he thought, but he squeezed it away for Fellaini. Back by Brunt. Simpson. Joe's not offside. Cahill would have been, but he got out of the way. Carson was on his toes.
Well, you can block him, but you just can't keep hold of him after that. You can stand there, you're matey, but once the ball's gone over your head, I'm afraid you can't do that.
It's a free kick, it's a mirror image.
Yeah.
It's the one that they conceded from. Cahill this time has gone into an offside position which he will move back from as Baines clips it in now. It's nearer Fellaini than the Australian. Neville staying forward, and an offside decision is given. Valera. Robinson going up outside him. For Fortune. No real chance of Morrison anticipating any touch on from Fortune then.
Played so narrow as well. You'd normally have a bit of width on it there. Both he and Brunt have talked about it playing very narrow on the left and right sides.
Someone was beaten by the bounce. There's Gosling. Looks very firm here, and talking about the Arteta injury last Sunday and the suggestion again that the firmness in the foot is crammed down on the ground. Either the foot gives, or in Arteta's case, the knee.
Yeah, I can understand that. Absolutely, definitely. There was nothing, it looked nothing. Mikel Arteta, and then he's collapsing, and Kushic's gone.
There's Pinar. Baines with the cross. Osman. Empty for Everton in the middle for Gosling's cross, which is the most threatening one. Morrison trying to whip it forward. He knew what he was doing. It wasn't just a clearance. He gets Simpson running powerfully, but brilliant defending by Jagielka.
Helped him a little, I thought. He played the ball across Jagielka, you'd expect, but you've got to get your body across him as well if you're going to do that. Lovely ball fed through there. You can see he's never ahead of Jagielka with his body, and because of that, Jagielka just sweeps it up, as he's done so often this season.
Fellaini. Cahill. Now Osman. Baines. Nice little clip. Too high for Joe. Osman. To Phil Neville. Everton settling into some passing that they weren't really allowed to do for most of the first half. Very important for the West Bromwich Albion players to get their heads up and get back to what they were doing well for the first half an hour, despite the bit of disappointment of not just conceding the goal, but the way it was conceded.
Jude Royal summed it up, I thought, perfectly. Between box and box, they're very, very good. But in either box, not good enough.
Okay, just eased out of the way. His appetite for the game never diminishes. To fight hard to be where he is today. Come a long way to make a career in European football. Valero. Robinson. It's a poor ball. Saw Valero maybe and went for the low road. With a bit of a surge, staying ahead of Valero. Can't find him. Goes to Robinson instead. Valero again. Cross to Zyvalon. Now it's all the way. Out and there's no foul called. Here's Joe. That's a foul for me. Anthony. He was looking at the man too. Morrison. Run of confidence. West Bromwich Albion need in bundles at the moment. Zyvalon. Maybe the arrival of Jonathan Greening, which is imminent, might help them, but here's Corran!
They had the strike first half for the right foot. Went wide, not quite in control of that one. We may have to see more of that from Robert Corran second half. 1-0 down. So he's advanced. No one really went to press him early.
Well, this is a bit of a surprise for West Bromwich Albion fans to see Greening's name on the team sheet as a substitute in the first place. He's had a knee injury, been back in full training over the last week.
Well, he's just swapped with Corran. He's just told Corran, you go up, you play up the top end. So he's going to play ahead of Greening. Greening going to play where Corran's been playing. That might be his booking.
A familiar sight for Marwan Fellaini. A yellow card from a Premier League referee.
And it's not as if he can commit a foul and get away with it. You know what I mean? You know, slide away into the background and the referee forgets who it was. 6'4" with a mop of hair like that on top of his head. It's
that might be the best argument for him to get his haircut. It is extraordinary, isn't it? 12 yellow cards now. It's really beyond the adjustment period.
And the change of play was on there for Joe. You'd have seen Stephen Pienaar.
Pienaar got it misjudged by Donk, who seems to have all the frame to deal with a ball in like that.
I didn't understand that one. I thought he was just going to come and head that, Donk. Travelled far enough for him to do so.
Pienaar. Everton fans wanting more. The security of a second goal. Joe. is Gosling. Prepared to have a crack.
Well, I think David Moyes might have been saying exactly that at half-time, Martin. This is a team that's only got 6 away goals. Another goal, lads, and surely the job's a lot easier. At 1-0, like we say time and time again, it only takes a second to score a goal.
Robinson. I haven't mentioned Ishmael Miller, who's out for the season. He scored 2 of those 6 away goals.
Yeah, and I think they lost Phillips, didn't they? A massive goal supply last year. Sultan Gira was another big player for them last year. Last season.
He didn't play too much for Liverpool, Scott Carson. He hasn't got the treatment from Everton fans that former Liverpool players usually get.
Yeah, I mean, he came a long way for that free kick.
He needed here, but Mate's reached it, but it drops for Joe. Not the best first touch. Comes out to Fellaini, give it to Osman. In by Neville. Beaten in the air by Mate this time. Morrison still full of optimism for West Bromwich Albion. Beyond Baines, who showed him on his stronger side and defended capably.
Approaching the hour mark, he might well be thinking of a second change, Tony Mowbray.
Off him.
Changes imminent.
This is Luke Moore. Well, that's to Aston Villa, of course.
West Brom substitution coming off number 29, Jay Simpson.
One or two promising moments from Jay Simpson. His race is run today. And the freshening up front involves more. Cyberlon's header. Pina. Cahill can't kill it this time. Greening. Brunt. Greening. Morrison again providing nice positive notes for West Bromwich Albion so far in the second half. A couple of runs, that fine ball for Simpson to chase.
As we've talked about, this is an Everton team that recently have known how to defend.
Was done well.
That's a decent hit as well, looked to be on target. Where it met the body of Joseph Yobo. There's a lovely little turn here.
He's got some happy memories of Goodison Park with Aston Villa. He won the FA Youth Cup where they had the first leg here against Wayne Rooney's youth team then. It's an emphatic first leg win. And the young Villa lads then. And Moore got a touch. Is that over the line?
Saying no. Oh, Phil Jagielka is the one there. But how close is he over? Does he hook it back? Keep your eye on him. Goes back in there, Jagielka. Oh, that's brilliant. And what a good decision. Because it's the right one.
Well, the responsibility goal or not was with Nigel Bannister. And I'm pleased to point out what a good decision it was, because he was the unfortunate assistant on that phantom goal at Reading, involving Reading rather, against Watford.
This is a good little spell for West Brom. Plenty of players forward.
In goes Brunt. Height advantage against Baines. Another look at what he had to adjudicate on.
Well, I just think the good thing for him is that there are no players, Mark, between him and the ball, none at all. He can see the ball, there's no Jagielka's body blocking it, and even there, it's just gets in, but that's fantastic from Jagielka. Lots of players would have panicked, hacked at that, maybe scooped off the foot and scored an own goal. That should have been meant just to dink it back into his arms, but somehow it just dropped in at the goalkeeper.
Meanwhile, Saha has come on for Fellaini.
And Tim Cahill will have to play as a midfield player for half an hour.
Morrison. Cyberlon. Valero. Now Greening. Here's Brunt. And Moore, who goal it would have been, but for the juggling from Jagielka. Left on the ground, Everton now on the attack. Just Joe
Slows up rather a lot when it gets to Joe at the moment. Taking such a long time to sort himself out and keep the tempo of the game, the move going.
Brunt's back on his feet. Baines. Easy for Carson. So David Moyes also had to deal with a fitness check on Louis Saha today. But, he's obviously, like Osman, deemed well enough to play a part in the game. Corrin. Fortune.
Got the bit between their teeth right now, West Brom.
There's Brunt. He drilled it across, but into Howard's territory. And there's Albion attack. A little bit more room for Everton to break into. Osman. For Joe's run. Here comes Carson, it should be his.
Just got to be careful, West Brom. A lot of this game left. They want to overcommit and gift the second goal.
Brunt. Here's Morrison. A gap for him to accelerate into. Looking at Fortune, but really concentrating on having a shot, and again, what might have been for West Bromwich Albion.
Well, the anxious voices are from Everton fans. Travels an awful long way, Morrison. Weaker side, angle a little against them. It's a decent effort. The pressure's growing. They had a couple of spells, couple of chances first half, but they never had this sort of pressure that they've had for the last 10 minutes of this game. Everton just lost their way a little.
Here's Corrin. A ball that was just not on. Morrison didn't make an angle for him. David Moyes has had to chop and change, but when you look around this side, you know, there's a senior look to the back line. Neville, Jagielka, Yobo, Baines, Cahill now in midfield. Osman has played plenty of games. Pinal was a first choice player till he got injured.
Oh, plenty of that.
But they just look a bit disjointed, don't they? As if they've been put together just for this particular Saturday lunchtime.
Like the centre midfield, if you're Osman and Cahill. I'm not so sure how good those two are at breaking up play.
Morrison. There's a little clip by Cahill. Morrison had to wait a bit longer for the whistle than he expected. He's the one who's driving West Brom on at every opportunity.
Another decent ball in. Caused them a problem last time.
Trying to maybe set it up for Brunt, who's got a real hammer in that left foot, but Everton were aware of that. Robinson by Yobo. Really jumping with Saha. Joe won't get that. Corrin. Fortune back to Robert Corrin again. Over he goes. Still Bennett unmoved.
I think he's just squeezed out. I think it gets away from him. I think he knows that. The lack of protest as he rose to his feet, I think probably tells you that. I think his touch was a little heavy.
He just produced the best part of the game, this, because RBNR giving it the gun now. Everton with more space to break into. Neville blocked off by good tracking back from Luke Moore.
Well, that's the last 10 minutes I was talking about. Absolutely dominating, more than twice the possession of Everton.
Still 25 minutes to go. Neville, Joe. Well, he's got a free kick. He hasn't really been able to hold it up.
Just looks heavy-legged to me in respect to Everton slow coming into him. His movement's slow and
to shoulder.
Never got control of it, gets whacked there. Groening's foot's pretty high. David Moyes only has one change, and with a quarter of the game left, he'd be reluctant, I think, to be forced into making it right now. But
Joe's up and jogging. Not really looking to attack the cross, but Cahill, of course, is. Unfairly.
And now he has to get back, Tim Cahill. That should be the first that needs to be a thought in his mind.
For Phil Jagielka, West Brom would have had their 7th away goal of the season.
They might be heading for a very, very valuable away point. And as I say, a quarter of the game to go.
I mean, there will be those watching Andy will say, oh, well, he knocked it to the goalkeeper. It should have been deemed a back pass.
Yeah. As I'm saying, how deliberate was that clearance? He certainly didn't thrash at it, that's what we can say. So he may well have been looking to play it back to his goalkeeper.
It couldn't have gone back, really, sideways.
Sideways, yeah.
If it had gone back, it would have been 1-1. Quarter of the game left. It's 1-0 to Everton. Tim Cahill got the goal. Jagielka prevented the equaliser.
And has Jakobsen played any football? Much football in this?
He's played first team. No, he's played none in Everton's first team. He was signed and then damaged his shoulder playing for Denmark in the midweek prior to joining in, and was out. Was back in September. He has played for Denmark recently this month.
I'm just thinking of what David Moyes might do, Martha, if they continue. I mean, Joe, as I said, I don't think he's played very well second half. He has the option. He could bring on Jakobsen, move Phil Neville forward into a midfield area, shift Cahill forward again. It would give them that defensive anchor in that middle of midfield. Phil Neville, allow Cahill to go forward, because Joe's not really contributing an awful lot right now.
You just wonder whether those 2 goals against Bolton might be seen in time to come as flattering. And certainly one of them was very well taken, the other was a penalty.
Changes, someone definitely changed. Julian Lescott, I think. Which might be the same sort of change.
Saha. Brilliant goal. Well, he doesn't play very often. but you can understand why Everton have shown some faith in him. He only gets paid when he plays, but he certainly deserves his pay today.
What a finish. When you talk about quality, when you talk about West Brom don't have, this is exactly what we mean. Not sure why he needs to deal with that. Not sure why Scott Carson isn't calling for it. But they don't have a player, West Brom, that can do this. One touch to set it, and another to fizz it past Carson into the corner. It is a genuine finish of pure quality from Louis Saha.
He's feasted on West Brom before. Julian Lescott was waiting to
maybe not
come
now.
on. No. He sat back down again. But Saha leapt up, and I hope he didn't damage himself in the process. That was a high-class goal. It's not been a high-class Everton performance, but they lead the bottom club now by 2 goals to 0.
Again, I mean, I think Carson and Matey, I mean, Scott Carson shouting at Matey, I think, what, didn't you hear me? Because I can't understand why he wouldn't be calling for that long ball through, and Matey just be ducking under it, and Scott Carson have the ball and go from there. But Matey decided to take it, played a really poor header, no height, no distance, and all right, 2 touches from Saha, but top draw. It's another lack of communication, poor defensively, West Brom.
Skews out off the shin of Jonathan Greening. Soft centre in West Bromwich Albion's defending, strong shot. With the cross, with his weaker foot.
Well, there's a change going to be made, Martin, but it's going to be Castilla, I think. They've changed that because he was worried defensively. He had to be, as I've said, about the pressure that West Brom were exerting. But the second goal's given him breathing space. It's allowed him to change his mind.
Neville still not drawn into anything here. Lescott is not going to be involved now, so he's safe if fit for next weekend in the FA Cup quarter-final here against Middlesbrough. And Neville's still got some 20 minutes to get through.
Yeah, you think about Leon Osman, you talk about the old, thought he might get 20 minutes. He might be the one who might go off, you know. Castilla come in the middle of midfield. We shall see. Might be Gosling.
Away by Carson. Cahill was in front of him, the ball was just too high for the Australian that time. Pienaar, he's looked pretty frisky on his comeback. Again, they've got to take that into account. He hasn't played not much recently.
No, sweet calm money in the bank though, 90 minutes, so as long as you can get at this sort of level, proper match practice.
But the fitness gurus say tired muscles last 15 minutes, that's when the risk of injury comes in. That's why you limp around the ground these days. They don't look after you properly in your playing days.
That's because you were allowed to be whacked time after time when I play.
That certainly doesn't happen now. Yobo, Pienaar. The referee was very well placed again. Pienaar. That's it though. Mate. Gosling. Baines. In for Pienaar. Good save by Carson. Everton, as with the second goal, taking the low road.
Great ball from Baines. He sees him. He knows exactly what he's doing, Martin, and that's a lovely ball fed into him. Has to take it very quickly, being closed down, had to take the touch to set it.
Pienaar, Cahill's dummy, Gosling.
And change will be made now. Well, no apologies for showing you quality of the highest order here. Brilliant drag back to set it on his favourite side, his left. Carson had absolutely no chance.
So his replacement is number 8, Segundo Castillo.
There you go, it's a change that's happened, and not quite who I thought, but throws a one off, and they'll probably move Cahill forward, I would think, yeah.
Phil Neville as a skipper there, just giving Joe a bit more encouragement, saying well done. He knows he can play better. Loanee from Manchester City, Castillo, who came on very early at Newcastle last weekend. Hasn't played too often at Goodison Park. The only game he started here, he scored a stunning goal against Standard Liège in Everton's rather brief European campaign. Pina. Saha. Every sign is only this last 15 minutes the Evertonians going to really enjoy, because the comfort of the second goal. Perhaps they think about going to the pub on the way home. Maybe a bigger margin of victory. Osman. Saha.
Unlucky, had to stretch to get that. And goals, that's obviously goals change games, and at 1-0 and the pressure they've had, West Brom were feeling confident and looking threatening. The goals just flattened them totally at the moment.
It's Phil Neville who gave it away here. Morrison. Castillo. Cahill back up front. Working 1-2 with Saha. Another tangle with Paul Robinson.
Just ran into each other. It was accidental, I thought.
Yeah. Respect.
Yeah. He's just trying to get there, he's just off balance now. Tim Cahill, he can't stop himself. Momentum just carried him into Paul Robinson.
Everton do have another game before they play Middlesbrough here in the FA Cup quarter-final. There is a set of Premier League midweek fixtures coming up in the midweek ahead. Donk.
Just a touch on that through ball. I think Segundo Castillo just got his toe to that, took it away from Robert Corrin.
Osman's ball.
Left to bring it back. There was no one there, no target. You look at this, he's just left everybody behind. Phil Neville, there's no one to play it to. Should we put that down as a shot off target?
I think it was on you go skipper from the others. We've got a couple of live games from the Barclays Premier League for you. Liverpool against Sunderland could take them closer to Manchester United. Sky Sports 2 and HD2, that's Tuesday. And Everton are at Blackburn, which is perhaps not the game that you want 4 days before an FA Cup quarter-final, but that's what David Moyes has got. And fighting in a different way, perhaps, to West Bromwich Albion, to try and preserve their top division status. Brunt. Osman. Cahill. Great vision. But, picked off by Zyberlon. This is Morrison. No place for Roman Bednar in West Bromwich Albion's team today. Is their leading scorer. We've seen him here. Hasn't scored an away goal though this season. He's not the only one in the West Bromwich Albion ranks, but he did have the chance to score that penalty at Fulham late on last Sunday. Gosling is the Everton player chasing.
Well, that's the importance of a second goal for Everton. They can afford one mistake in this game. and probably get away with it. Not 2-0.
Donk. Moore. Actually was a cross with it. He bent in towards Howard away from Fortune's. Been in the game much recently. Saha. Gosling. If he can get up and chase that, I don't think it's going to be a foul. Curran came across. Greening. Here's Morrison. Greening. Fortune.
It's a foul. I thought that Soljagielka had a chunk of him there. Maybe he didn't. The referee certainly didn't think so, obviously. Was in there you go.
Surely that is a decision for the assistant if he's looking across at that.
Absolutely.
To help out the referee.
Couldn't have been more blatant, that.
Greening. Robinson, Moore's on the move, trying to get in behind Everton here. A touch for Fortune. No handball, and Everton are going to get it. Two strikers trying to combine.
Little unlucky. Right at an awkward angle off Luke Moore there. Very top of the arm, but still the arm.
Osman. Pina. Back to Osman again. He's come through the tackle. Saha's arriving. Cahill, almost sport for choice Everton at that moment. Osman. Gosling coming in back post. Arsenal was concerned, understandably. Good work by Castillo. On to Pinar. Placing it towards Saha, the dummy. Cahill trying the back heel. It's time for one or two tricks now. Again, there was a possibility. Morrison played a splendid pass from that sort of position earlier in the half. Didn't quite find the direction that time.
Well, assuming they see this through, I think this is a big game for Everton in respect, Martin. First league game, I think this is, that they've played this year without Mikel Arteta. I mean, obviously Newcastle went off, but you know, to come into the game knowing that he's not going to be playing, I just think for their own mental strength, it was important that they could get this game, see it out.
Not handball that time, and Moore having a couple of bites at it. Pinar. It's been one of Everton's better performers.
Maybe a free kick, mind you, Paul Robinson. Greening's been booked. A little lunge on Pinar just as he took it past him. And then this one here, he's given the free kick for this. Comes in, a little late.
Yes, free kick for that, the booking for the earlier incident. That shot from Castillo, I don't know whether he's got enough English to demand having a go at this. He's moved away from it.
I think Joseph Yobo's, I've just watched him, he was looking at Yobo, and Yobo's going, ushering him forward, saying, go on. He obviously remembers what he was saying.
So they're going to just roll it through Cahill's legs. Baines. Here it is, Leighton Baines. Gosling on settle to the corner. Two seems certain to be enough for Everton. Three would delight David Moyes. Neville coming later into proceedings. He was never going to respond to the crowd's encouragement to shoot. There's a little clip that didn't get very far. Clip again, Saha's header. Baines. Pinar and Gosling trying a turn that very nearly came off. It was the right area to do something like that. Fortune. Early from Morrison to Brunt. And now Corrin. More. Brunt not quite on the same wavelength. Brunt fighting hard to get it back. Greening. On the short side for Zyvalon. Robinson was upfield for the previous passage of play. Just got back in time. Once again, Northern Ireland International.
Well, Everton be hoping it's 6 minutes last week, I think it was, at Newcastle. A bit longer today and a goal. It would be nice for Everton, David Moyes and himself, if he could put some sort of run in from now to the end of the season.
Howard taking charge. Yes, and each of it, as you rather suspected at the time, Andy, more seriously hurt than
very
it
much
seemed.
So. He'll be out for a while, Victor Anichebe.
Cahill. Osman. Now Baines. We've almost forgotten about Yakubu. He was injured early season. Risky from Castillo. He had a bit of a mixed time when he came on at St James's Park last week. Medji's interpreter in the tunnel, and obviously still has some difficulty in communication, even though he's been here since the summer transfer window.
There's one or two tight legs up there in blue shirts. Osman, a little example of what I mean, a little tiredness there, and Pienaar, who's worked his socks on, maybe that's another one. They've worked really hard, those two, in short games and just coming back.
More! Oh, great effort! Absolutely terrific effort. Fortune has a little bit of hesitation by Yobo on the rebound.
Well, that's got nothing to do with not being good enough or things not happening. That's just bad luck. That was a fantastic effort.
Advantage played, the suspicion of handball. Morrison trying to get it wide. Moore's done well since he's come on.
Well, he has very well. One off the line, one off the frame of the goal.
Yes, I'm sure some West Bromwich Albion fans are saying at this moment, that's what it's like when you're down the bottom.
Yeah, well, they would be right.
Neville. There goes Saha.
Well, what an effort this was. Ball just played through to him. Nobody comes to close him down. One touch and a hit. Not sure if anything he got on that, the goalkeeper. He just got fingertips to that.
Here's Zyvalon. Greening. Corrin. That was a good angle. Moore's here. And Fortune. Just can't force it in. It's a game that's certainly had its incidents. Will probably be viewed around the globe as a routine Everton win against a side struggling to avoid another relegation from the Premier League.
West Brom substitution coming off at number 32, Marc-Andre Fortune, and his replacement number 20, Felipe Teixeira.
Felipe Teixeira, who has a broken toe. West Brom haven't disguised that. And we all know one or two players who might go looking for it in the opposing ranks, but which toe is it?
Standing all of them and covered all the faces.
Nicely done by Cahill. Hens has to wait. Gosling was trying to get to the far post from right out on the right to side. Cahill Lovely done by Brunt. Teixeira. For Luke Moore. Well, if ever an Albion player deserved a goal, and he's only been on in the second half, but he's been denied here. Very good movement.
Good run, good ball. Takes a little flick off somewhere. He gets the corner here. It's off Joseph Yobo's heel.
Same old, same old.
Same old, you're right. But look, I don't know what the young lad must be thinking. Sub, come on, go and try and make something happen, and make something happen. He's certainly done that, but had no luck whatsoever. Great piece of defending, denied him, Jagielka. Framing the goal, denied him there again, and then a little unlucky with that one. Most difficult chance.
3 minutes of added time. 3 minutes.
So 3 added minutes at Goodison Park.
But you say, you know, you can have chances and miss them and not get a luck, but if you're not keeping the door shut at the back and keeping clean sheets every now and again, and instead of getting a point that might make all the difference, you're going to end up with nothing.
Off target from Teixeira. Premier League games, 17 defeats.
51 goals conceded.
24 goals scored, only 6 of them away from home.
And they could have had 3 more this afternoon. And he'll argue that, probably rightly.
Saha, who settled the game really. And Everton's second goal. Castillo, by Donk. 5 foot from Moore, no damage on Baines. Arsenal play later, but Everton 3 points closer. Six chasing 5th. Morrison.
That was ambitious. It would need to be special from there. Strikes it well enough, but it's always moving away from the target. As I say, I think there's a few tired legs there in blue shirts. David Moyes will be glad to see the back of this game. Respect it. It's always dodgy. You've gone into a game, you expect to win it against a team that's bottom, and he knows that they're better than a lot of people think.
Greening. David Moyes, a manager, most consistent in his selections, not been allowed to do that.
No, absolutely not.
By suspensions, by injuries. His last real worry is that Phil Neville get himself in a situation where Steve Bennett has to book him. Teixeira. It's Gosling defending at that area for Everton at the moment. Greening. Donk, not on really. Zyvalon. But again, with difficulty, David Moyes in the results business has got a result, Andy.
Absolutely. I mean, David's right. His interview with Jeff Fries at the beginning was interesting. He said, I'm in this business to get results, whatever way possible. And I think that's the difference.
It's a double over the bottom club for the Blues of Everton. Familiar failings for West Bromwich Albion, particularly with the first goal headed in unmarked by Tim Cahill against a side that's been vulnerable in the air for so much of the season. Louis Saha with a classy second, and West Brom will be glad to see the back of February. Played 3, lost 3 in the Premier League and out of the FA Cup at Burnley. It's the FA Cup that Everton will focus on next weekend after they've been to Blackburn in midweek. And this very good run, 1 defeat in 15 in all competitions now. And it's not just being unbeaten, it's the wins that boost as well. It's a win today, maybe an expected one, but a win nonetheless over West Bromwich Albion by 2 goals to 0.
Welcome to Goodison. Traditional feel about the place, the ground, the music. And Everton today, 2-0 winners against West Bromwich Albion, who stay bottom. And they're running out of games now as well, West Brom. Everton stay 6th, but as you can see, 9 points the gap now between themselves and Wigan. who are leading the chasing pack, and they're just a point behind Arsenal at the moment, having played this game more, of course. 2-0 Everton, he got the first, and of course it's always the most important on any afternoon. Tim Cahill, Barclays man of the match this afternoon, and here he is with Jeff Shreves.
Tim, a good win, but it was a bit hard work towards the end, was it?
Yeah, definitely. We knew before we played that West Brom are a great passing team. You know, I don't think they deserve to be at the bottom, but it happens, you know, if you don't put the ball in the back of the net, and we knew today was going to be one of the hardest games of the season.
Another goal for you. What are you now? An attacking midfielder, a striker, somewhere between the two?
I think I'm a defensive, attacking, striking midfielder. So, no, it doesn't matter. You know, I'm just really happy that, you know, getting the goals, and we're really playing well. You know, we had a big loss with Mikel Arteta, and we're pretty down in the week, and you know, now we've picked ourselves up, and you know, we did really well out there.
Is that what this team is all about, though? Team spirit and work ethic, as proven by your clearance off the line?
Yeah, definitely. I think you know, the main aim for us is to take it game at a time, and you know, with such a small squad, we put all our effort on the pitch, and we leave it on there. You know, that's why maybe we got more injuries than others, but you know, it's a credit to the manager and the players for the passion that they show on the pitch.
Well, another good win, another bottle of you. You are the Barclays man of the match.
Cheers, thanks.
Cheers, mate. David said you didn't care how you won, as long as you won, so are you happy?
Well, I'm happy with the result, not happy with the performance. I have to give them a lot of credit to West Brom today. They passed it well and made it difficult for us, and we were just a little bit behind it as well.
A few tired legs out there?
I thought so. I think it was maybe a little bit tired in the mind, but you know, in a strange way, I needed to see that myself today. You know, it was the first game without Mikel, so I needed to see that now. I know what I've got to do to try and sort it and make it much better.
11th clean sheet of the season. How good does that sound?
Well, if there was one thing which I do take the positive from, was certainly from my goalkeeper and Phil Jagielka and Joe Yobo and the boys at the back. I thought they were immense, and it's a good record. We know that we're going to have to keep a few more clean sheets if we're going to keep pushing up the league.
And just a point behind Arsenal, you're happy really, aren't you?
Oh, we're delighted, because you know, you're not winning all the games as well as you'd like to play, and today was a game that we won without playing as well as we should have done, but nevertheless it's 3 points towards hopefully a good total come the end of the season.